What are the coordinates of our current location?
Your coordinates are point B254301. The dummy logout point is about 3 kilometers north from there.
Is this horrible color scheme your personal taste or what?
I'd prefer if you called it overflowing with realism. It's supposed to confuse the suspect's vision and mislead him to the false exit we provided. I've tried to incorporate an Oriental motif from the Lost Jerusalem era.
Where did you get such ancient data? Well, I must admit, this dampness and smell do seem to have a demoralizing effect.
Thank you, Melis. I'm so glad you understand.
3 kilometers to the north. It won't be long before they notice it's a trap. We don't have time to mess around.
Yes, sir!
Mikhail, do you have a clear path to the dummy logout point?
Sir Mikhail's machinations are perfect, is what I like to say, but...
Is there a problem?
Well, the problem is that we have a severe lack of information about Voyager's abilities. I said earlier we had 40 minutes, but if they've already realized that this is a trap...
What do you think they would do if they realized it?
I fear that they might already be lurking, waiting to intercept. In a worst-case scenario, you'd have to fight a large-scale macrophage. You should always proceed with the assumption of the worst-case scenario.
I agree. Bugs, take the lead. Deploy your anti-program rewrite sensors for up to 500 meters ahead. Lactus, ensure you always have an escape route secured. Be cautious of program rewrites. Let's go! Hey guys! Luxker here. Welcome back to more Xenosaga Pied Piper fan recreation. Last time, Voyager took his wrath off with Irene Torres killing her and everyone on the patrons of the ship that we were on. This time, we are on the chase for the leader of the Torres Foundation. Weird way to just start the episode off right here. So, beginning this little area right here, we have a few treasure chests. One is an escape pack. And the other one right here is a medkit M. So, I'll make sure you pick those up before we go on forward.
Captain, can you hear me?
What's wrong?
I've detected traces of the suspects accessing one of the scan barriers en route to the dummy logout point. The pursuit is going smoothly.
I see. Continue monitoring the situation.
Huh? What the?
Is something wrong?
My sensors just detected a program rewrite.
What? Mikhail, confirm the rewrite.
Hang on! There's no anomaly on my end! What the hell? What is this?
What's wrong, Eric?
Interference in virtual space. What did you say? The program is being rewritten at an incredibly high speed. That's impossible! There's no response on my side! It's no use. I can't patch it fast enough. Large numbers of macrophages are being released. Captain, prepare for immediate combat.
Eric! Damn, the line's lagging.
Captain, if things remain as they are, communication will be completely cut off in a few minutes. Try reconnecting to the terminal. The surveillance barrier's zone.
Understood. So we need to get to the surveillance barrier without assistance. Create a vaccine as fast as possible to stop the interference in the virtual space.
Yes, sir! By the time you reach the surveillance barrier, I have it ready!
How long until the vaccine is ready?
Using existing vaccines at the base, it'll take 20 minutes.
Make it 15.
That's impossible!
Are you telling me that even you can't do it?
Of course not! I'll release it in 14 minutes and 59 seconds!
Do it. So as we can see right here, this whole place is all in disarray. Just all these buildings and stuff have melting doors that are just rusted over. The doors aren't really melting, they just look, yeah, they're just basically rusted in general, so. Anyways, you see you think this looks like a barrier actually, but actually you can just go right under it, so it kind of looks like an arch. It's just basically an arch right here, if you just was wondering. So, in case you ever thought this was like some kind of blockade, then no, it really isn't. So, up here is a biosphere. We haven't really been using those that often, so it's not like super useful right now because the enemies so far haven't been like super hard, but I will say in the next few areas things will get a little bit challenging. And that's because we have right here an enemy. So remember Melis's new ability, Stealth Mode? Well, actually, we can show it off right here. So you can still run, and as long as the enemy is not in sight of you, you can basically just run around it like, haha, you can't touch me, you can't touch me. Okay, well, you saw me a little bit right there, but yeah, that's basically Melis's ability. Just go run around these guys right here. Let's get this oh shit, I meant to get the enemy to, I'm gonna escape this battle, and, ow. Okay, I guess it's a good time to just showcase the escape pack then, because we have, quite a few of those, and we won't really be using all that much in the course of the game, so let's go ahead and use it, and leave. Alright, let's get this guy to follow us here. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Now it's time for I'm not gonna go ahead and do a takedown, actually. Because the reason for that is if you use a takedown, you actually don't get experience from these guys. So it's actually kind of not a good thing to actually use here. Here we got some new enemies. These are palette swaps of the U.M.N enemies from the cathedral. These are Sex. I want to go ahead and confiscate these guys because they drop Revive M from these guys when you confiscate them. So Revive M's are pretty rare to find. If you're having a little bit of trouble just going through this game, having those on you is actually really useful. Also, like the U.M.N enemies from before, they're very weak to thunder attacks. So I am more worried about the Steropes enemy, because it can use Ice Bolt, and that, as you can see right there, that did a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna have, on Lactus's turn, I'm gonna confiscate the other Sex enemy. Alright, got a good critical hit on him, even though it's resistant to physical attacks. Alright, I am gonna confiscate you. Alright, so, oh crap. Okay, they're no longer surprised now. Okay, alright, I guess it's my turn to attack now. I guess I just haven't been really doing much. I am gonna use, I'm gonna just use this right here, just to get everybody full healed. Now would have been a good time to use a Biosphere, but I guess I'm just a little bit too lazy on that part. Yawn. I'm gonna have you use Heavy Tackle on this Sex here. Let's see if it defeats it. Okay, oh, almost killed it there. Okay. I'm gonna kill this Sex right here. And I'm gonna confiscate the Steropes! Yeah, just like last time. So we got a Ruby for that. Oh, okay. I guess confiscating actually makes his attack go up. That must be new in the latest patch there, so it's really neat. Let's try Satellite, actually. We haven't used this yet. This is a weak beam attack that hits all enemies, so not, like, super useful in the moment, but it's really nice in general, so we can totally take you out with that. Okay, I am going to need to use Biosphere after this fight, finally show that what that is. Let me go ahead and get a biosphere on everybody here. We don't really have too many of them. They are kind of rare, so definitely wait until you get to a save point in order to get that going through here. We have enough SP right now to learn like one more skill. So let's give Melis the Ice Bolt attack right here. So, okay, going back here, I just had to do something real quick. So this enemy is respawned now. So let's actually make use of our new ability here. So we can just run past this enemy without getting noticed. So it's pretty useful. Let's go ahead and head on upwards. Captain, we can't proceed any further with all this rubble scattered about. Bugs.
Yes.
It's your turn. Destroy the debris.
I got it. Could everyone please step back a bit? Yeah! Debris removal complete.
The debris on the map can be destroyed when Bugs is the active character, quote-unquote. Stand in front of debris and press the confirmation button to destroy it.
Yes! I can easily destroy debris like that, so please leave it to me anytime.
Don't get too carried away, Bugs. There's a possibility that enemies could be lurking among the debris.
That's right. It's not wise to fight enemies with low HP or just a few recovery items. Yes, I will be careful.
Then let's hurry ahead. And hurry we shall, but real quick, Bugs has learned a new ability right here. It's called Barricade Buster. It breaks through rubble and clears a path, basically. So any kind of rubble that we saw just a little bit ago that was in front of us, we can basically clear with that ability. So let's go ahead and have Bugs be out here just in case we had to use this. Right over here is another segment address. This is segment address 2. So get this big old Bugsy boy bopping along in the sprite. Let's go ahead and take on this enemy right here. We get some really weak enemies and one new enemy here. So I probably should have like actually I don't have access to Lightning 2 right now actually. I'm gonna confiscate the Sex to get a Revive M. So that's pretty useful. Revive M's are really hard to come by, so having that on you is really nice. So, yeah, I'll go with. No, actually, I don't really want to waste that. Let's go ahead and do a Break Bash on the Sex here. But yeah, going into this area right here specifically, there's actually an enemy that is only there in the OG version of Pied Piper. And that enemy is called a Proto-Cancer. And yeah, no, this enemy is not actually gonna give you cancer. This enemy is called like that in Japanese, and that's what basically crabs are called as. And it's based off the constellation, which, if you didn't know, it's basically a crab too. So. Alright, let's continue forward here. So we have this big old barricade right here, which we can use Bugs to basically destroy, and we get an encounter. I guess it's a good time to mention when we talking more about these barricades here, that also in the original version of Pied Piper, the barricades Bugs had to get rid of were like way smaller. Like they were like basically like miniature sized, and they're basically much more scattered about, but not like it here in the fan recreation. It's a little bit more balanced out. The barricades are a lot bigger now, so, and not as cumbersome to even hit also. So, well, it's Bugs' time to shine here. Let's go ahead and take care of that enemy. This Eins here. I'm gonna have, do I really want to farm Revive M's from this guy? Just waste all my MP on that. Unable to confiscate, I guess it only works on, like, certain, like, enemy groupings or something. That's why I couldn't steal from them in that case. Bugs is level 14, so that's nice. Yan will be level 14 pretty soon as well. Alright, fight this enemy right here. Actually, I probably shouldn't mention that during this fight. Yeah, the sex enemies are much more supportive enemies that can cast offensive and defensive on everybody. Really annoying in general, so I would definitely recommend just getting rid of them first and foremost. So, yeah, basically, yeah, I really need to kill these guys, dude. These guys are really annoying. Alright, that battle's done. Jan's level 14 now. And let's go ahead and get this chest, which is a rock star. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. No. Weapon for Jan right there. Weirdly, it increases his ether. I don't know why it would increase his ether, because he doesn't really have the best ether attack in the world in general, so not clear why that is. Alright. Let's go ahead and continue forward here. There's a lot more enemies just scattered about in general. Like, there's a whole ton of just enemies, just much more, like in places that are harder to go around. So yeah, like I said, like the first chapter was pretty simple in general, but it's gonna be a lot more tougher in this chapter and later chapters because of how many enemies there are. So just keep that in mind. Alright, that battle's taken care of. Alright, let's get this chest right here. This contains a Blip XI. Let's go ahead and equip that on Bugs right here. This decreases ether attack slightly, like by 3 points, but it basically gives Bugs a lot more defense in general, so it's good to have on him despite his ether attack lowering in general. So alright, let's continue forward here. Going through all these dilapidated buildings with their windows blown out. Like, jeez. I do not want to live in this area if I were living in the U.M.N. Oh my god. Crazy. Alright, took care of that guy. And let's go ahead and continue forward. Mikhail, can you hear me?
You made it to the surveillance barrier! Impressive work!
How's the vaccine?
The vaccine was released 3 minutes ago! It should buy you some time, but it was rushed, so don't expect too much from it. If the culprit attempts another large-scale rewrite...
It'll be enough. You did well. What's the status of the enemy trace?
We briefly lost some during the interference, but tracking resumed once the connection was restored.
Good. Can you confirm their heading?
Eric is on it! Eric, what's the status of the macrophages deployed by the enemy? Captain, it's a relief to see you're safe.
Don't worry about me. Focus on identifying the macrophages along our route.
Roger that. Currently, there's no sign of lingering macrophages in your vicinity. They're deploying new macrophages while moving at a very high speed.
Wait, does that mean? If we follow the trail of macrophages, we can track them straight to the suspect.
Captain, look at this. Mikhail, the surveillance barrier sensors are reacting. It's proof that the target has passed through.
Like breadcrumbs from Hansel and Gretel.
Even if they realize this is a trap, they have no choice but to flee through the logout point we created. They're in our hands now. Communication is fully restored. Even if you leave the terminal, we can stay in touch. I'll report any changes immediately.
Lactus. Yes? Does this feel off to you? This seems a bit careless for Voyager, don't you think? Exactly. Walking around scattering macrophages, leaving a trail for the sensors. This feels like amateur work. Do you think this isn't Voyager's doing? Or maybe Voyager is luring us in. Either way, we can't waste time hesitating. Let's hurry forward for now. Right. Well, we move forward we shall. We got a bunch of macrophages to fight up ahead. Let's head through. Let's head on through.
These sensors reacted. Voyager is this way. Captain, let's hurry up.
Wait, Malice!
What's wrong, Captain?
The floor in front of you is a trap. If you pass over it carelessly, you're going to take damage. There are some traps that are visible to you, and there are some traps that only I can detect when I'm the active character. There are different types of traps, including ones that deal damage or ones that inflict poison, so caution is necessary.
Malice, please don't rush ahead and step on any traps.
I know! If you keep talking like that, I'll report it to Eric!
Sorry.
Avoid stepping on the glowing forest sections and proceed.
Yes.
And here we go. We have yet a new ability that U.M.N just learned. So, switching to U.M.N now reveals these traps right in front of you. As U.M.N just said, these traps can do multiple different types of things, like do damage to you or even poison you for that fact. So, it's called hazard awareness, and we want to make sure we keep that in mind for later. In the OG version of Pied Piper, actually, the hazard awareness ability is actually in the game too, and it allows you. And if you switch U.M.N back and forth when you have that on, you can basically just see the traps with any character. You don't even have to have U.M.N out just to even be in there, just to be able to see the traps. You can tell that this was only useful to just have U.M.N just show the traps and have enemies just take a lot of damage, and then use another party's abilities afterwards, and you can just avoid like any kind of poison or like health depleting traps as well. This was actually changed in the fan recreation where only U.M.N at all times can be able to see the traps and have no one switch out just to be able to see them. Another change is that when you step on a poison trap, a poison icon appears above the character's head, showing that they are poison. This was changed to a sound effect and a visual cue, and honestly, I really like this a lot better, just to like not have have that being shown off. All right, well, everybody in that last fight got a lot of new abilities right here that we can show off in the next fight. So in the fan recreation now, this was changed to a sound effect and a visual cue, which I honestly find a lot better in general, just to be able to see them much more clearly. Another change that was in the original version was the introduction of red traps. As I'm going to demonstrate right here, U.M.N took 30 damage from just stepping on that trap. The red ones in the OG version actually did 60 damage to all party members instead of 30. Actually, that did 30 damage to everybody else and not just U.M.N, so it's good to know that it hits the whole party right there. Those red traps were taken out of the fan recreation, all because they were just being very redundant, so let's go ahead and continue forward here. What's up, Lactus? There's an item in front of us. Even if the captain and the others can't see them, I can see invisible items when I am the active character. However, my visibility range is limited, so I can only see what's in front of me. How far is your visibility range? I can see... Within this range, I can find invisible items. I see. There's a chance that valuable items might be hidden in the future. It is possible. It seems that valuable items are often found in dead-end corners, or corners of rooms especially. If you come across such places, please switch to me as the active character. Understood. Let's hurry ahead. And we have our final
field skill, which is called Forensic Vision. What Lactus can do with that is he can perceive hidden gold chests in the environment. So if we switch to Lactus right here, we see the gold chests right here, which contain valuable stuff like this VB Fall right here that I'm going to go ahead and put to Lactus right now. It's a nice little item for him. It decreases his ether attack by kind of a lot. So it's very useful to have. Also, I'm going to go ahead and equip those half coats as well. Very useful items too. They increase your agility and luck as well. I'm going to go ahead and equip one to Lactus, and I'm going to also equip one to... Actually, yeah, that decreases her ether a little bit, so I'm going to actually hold off on that one. So, I want to mention, actually, that you don't need to have Lactus up in the active slot in order to find treasure. You can actually do that with any character. So, if you find, like, something like this where there's, like, an invisible block right here in front of you and you don't know what it is, that's actually a hidden chest. So, if you switch to Lactus right here, you can go ahead and obtain the treasure. You can't obtain it with any character. Yeah, it has to be Lactus that obtains it. However, in, like, small corridors that you can go, that you went before to get the Forensic Vision ability that did not have invisible blocks that had treasure, they are now blocked now by that ability. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that by backtracking here to like a specific spot that has like those hidden chests that weren't showing up before. So anyways, while we backtrack, I want to talk about the music from the original game. Here's what the battle theme and area theme sound like. I honestly don't really like the music in the original game personally. I know that the composers for the original game 2.5 had to make very simple compositions to fit into the original small file sizes for these games, but honestly, I don't know about you guys, I don't know if it's just my ears just hearing it, but they sound very, like, tinny to me. I don't know. They're very, like, tinny sounding. I will talk about the composer for the fan recreation at the later point, but honestly, as you get heard throughout basically the rest of the game, his music is just fantastic. Like, honestly, like, just amazing all throughout, so... Alright, so right here, actually, is a good example of what the ability can actually do. So, if you have any other character right here, going into this little corridor, you see there's, like, a little, like, hidden thing right here that you can't even get to. You can't even use Yon to press up against it. Right here, if you have Lactus out, you can go ahead and obtain this treasure right here, which is a firewall. This is actually a bracelet item, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is. It allows you to take half damage from fire attacks right here. It's pretty useful in that regard. I'm gonna go ahead and equip that on Lactus right now. Just so he's not as squishy. Backtracking into this area, I don't want to have this enemy hitting me, Alright, BR Bizzles! Okay, defeated that guy. I'm gonna heal my EP real quick. Luckily I got a whole ton of Ether Pack S's, so that's not really a problem right now. Alright. Let's go ahead and collect this chest right here, which contains Decoder 5. So, we actually have decoders in these hidden gold chests. That's why you want to have Lactus explore as much as possible going through these previous areas. But yeah, just want to make note of that when you go through here and 100% it. Can you get up here? Thank you. I can avoid that guy. Alright, all the way back here past that barrier that I just said that's not really a barrier, that I keep thinking that it is one. Right here is yet another decoder, Decoder 7. Right here, actually, when I'm gonna go ahead and have Melis learn a new technique right here, which is Lightning 1. Bug's already learned this move a little bit earlier, but I want to go ahead and get that out of the way right now. Because we'll be using it on an enemy that we're going to be fighting in the future, a new enemy, in fact. And it's this one right up here. Let's go ahead and take a fight at it. And here we have Spider A1s right here, a new type of macrophage enemy. Actually, what do I get when I confiscate it? I actually don't really know. I don't even have it in my notes. Okay, yeah, they don't have anything to confiscate, so that was not a good idea to do. Not a good idea. Let's go ahead and, alright, let's go ahead and talk about Lightning 1 right here. So, these, Spider A1 enemies are very weak to electric attacks, just like the Sex are. So, right here is a prime way of, actually using Lightning 1 on these guys, and they should do a lot of damage to them. Yeah, look at that, over half of their damage is gone. So, really useful against these guys. Because it can attack the whole party, basically. Actually, yeah, Bugs can learn it too. Has learned it too. So let's go ahead and knock these guys out. Didn't take out the Sex though. So, all right, there we go. We killed it. All right, I am gonna go. We're done backtracking for right now. So let's go ahead and head back to where we previously were. Okay, back to where we were over here. I'm gonna have Jan look through these traps right here. And as you can see right here, we have like a whole like thing of traps right here just scattered about right here. But not in this little corridor right here. If we go into it, check it out. We have a new hidden item right here, and it's a Compound 8. That's a weapon for Melis right there. Let's go ahead and equip that on her. So, this is basically what this whole area is. It's just basically switching between Jan and Lactus, just to find hidden chests. Sometimes just using bugs to destroy barricades. I think there's a barricade down here, actually. Yep, there is one. Alright. Can we, like, maybe bypass this enemy? Nope, we can't. Oh, well. Alright, that guy's defeated. So, you may think there's, like, nothing over in this corridor at all, but you can see right here, little hidden block. We get a biosphere from that, so basically replacing the one that we used earlier in this episode. Alright. And look at right here. We have a save block right there. Let's go ahead and save real quick. Alright. Look at what's ahead of us. Let's go ahead and take it out. Right here is our next boss, Garm. Let's go ahead and have Lactus confiscate this guy because it drops a blue star when we do that. Garm is, I will say Garm is not like the most, Garm has some pretty high agility, I will just say that. And he can also cast Skin Down on us, so it's actually pretty important to basically keep our stuff, kept in line here. Garm is resistant to basically most elemental damage besides Beam, which he's weak to, and Ice that he's takes normal damage from. So having Melis use Beam Bolt a whole ton of times is actually really useful here. I'm gonna have Jan use Balance Up so we can hit our attacks very well. I'll actually say, even though we're using kind of like a scattered amount of characters to raise our stats and stuff, I want to showcase Jan's supportive side a little bit more. Because Jan is a much more supportive character in general than pretty much everybody else here. So it's actually a good thing to showcase. So, I'm gonna have Melis use Beam Bolt again, just doing a lot more damage now. So we'll go ahead and use Balance Down on Jan. Once we get enough SP, though, I will definitely have Jan be much more of a supportive character than just anything else here. Sure, Bugs, go ahead and use that. It's gonna be pretty resistant, though, unfortunately, but I kind of want to use it anyway. It's now casting Lightning 1, so it attacks everybody in the party here. Going back to the Norse mythology stuff, actually, that I talked about in a previous episode before, Garm is actually named after a dog or wolf in Norse mythology that's called Garmr. It's associated with Hell and Ragnarok, and was described as a blood-stained guardian over Hell's Gate. So it's pretty dang tough, just a tough enemy in general. Or just absolutely just sounds like a tough enemy. I kind of want to have Melis to boost here and heal everybody up. I'm going to go ahead and... I'll go ahead and use Phoenix Strike again. And have Melis do this right here, heal everybody up. So, I know we already confiscated earlier, but I also want to talk about something else. Since this ability wasn't something that you can do in the OG version of Pied Piper, you can actually, Cyclone Fox wanted to add this ability to steal items for bosses, and instead of just, being able to not steal enemy items in the original game, which you couldn't really do in the original game in general, so, they were there to emulate the feeling by introducing Confiscate, just to be able to do something else in battle, just to steal items and stuff. This ability in the other games was called Steal, but they had to make it much more police-themed, so Confiscate was a better use for being able to take items, just from policemen alone, like have a search warrant to be able to investigate further into bosses in general, so... I'm gonna actually have U.M.N use Recover EP, so another support thing about U.M.N is he can actually have party members recover HP each turn, so it's a pretty useful thing that U.M.N can really showcase. So, this fight is a little bit, I mean, a lot of these boss fights take a little bit longer. They're pretty much HP and defense sponges all throughout, so... okay, let's go ahead and take you out, or take you in, I don't know. No. Oh, it can use Satellite now, so after he's half his HP low, he can do that, so... And oof, she took a lot of damage there. Let's go ahead and have U.M.N do Recover HP now on Melis, just to have her recover a little bit of HP each turn. Like I said, U.M.N is much better as a support character, and Lactus is actually going to be the much more offensive character here, so... Unfortunately, Lactus doesn't have a lot to really do against Garm here. Okay, well I have to recast Offensive on Lactus's turn. The skin down is getting really annoying. Alright. U.M.N doesn't really have much. Except I can at least do Penetrate here, do at least something. Lactus, I am going to cast Offensive back up on everybody again. Alright, do that. And Bugs, go ahead and use Beam Bolt again. And I was casting Lightning 1 again. So, yeah, this is basically the boss fight. Honestly, like... As long as you keep your HP in order and, like, you don't, like, inadvertently, like, not, do anything, bad and whatnot, this fight should not be this difficult, so... We're almost done with them. Let's go ahead and use our, I was gonna say use our moves here. Let's go ahead and use our special attacks to, go ahead and, get that, bonus EXP right here. So, right, Lactus level 16, Bugs level 16, learned Satellite 1, very nice. Good stuff. Wow, that was quite a large-scale macrophage. No, that was restrained for Voyager, as I suspected this is. Captain, I see a figure. Is it Voyager? Mikhail, find out what just passed through here. Mikhail, can't you hear me? Captain, let's follow it. It hasn't gone too far. Wait, Melis, Mikhail. Mikhail!
Captain, I'm sorry.
What's going on here? We've got eyes on the target. Pin down their destination.
Yes, something major just happened here too.
What?
According to a report from the Archon police, they've taken the suspect into custody.
Is it Voyager?
They are investigating if he's really Voyager, but they confirmed the man's identity.
Who is it?
He's...
What? Answer me!
The man's name is Klaus Torres.
Torres. As in the Torres Foundation.
He's the son of Irene Torres, the woman who was attacked earlier.
You're serious?
Klaus Torres, 24 years old. He's distanced himself from the Foundation and was working as a system programmer for an official placenta facility serving high-profile individuals.
An artificial placenta facility. Is it linked to the Draper incident?
That's under investigation too. It's very likely, after all, he has a record of various misdemeanors and minor crimes. As a teenager, he was caught for illegal hacking several times and was ultimately exiled from his family at the age of 15. During that time, he established ties with the descendants of Nestorius.
The descendants of Nestorius? Why would someone from Abraxas be involved with an extremist right-wing organization in the Federation?
I'm not sure of the specifics, but he doesn't seem like the fanatical type. He's been involved in a series of impulsive misdemeanor crimes. In any case, the Foundation had no choice but to expel Klaus. From Irene Torres' political standpoint, he may have been seen as too much of a liability.
So you're saying this crime was entirely driven by a personal grudge?
It's a common pattern when people commit crimes when they lack love in their lives. Oh, I'm getting a visual feed of Klaus's room from Archon Police HQ, patching it through to your screen.
This is...
Captain, do you see it?
Yes. So that's Klaus's room.
Yeah.
Is there anything connecting him to Voyager?
The writing on the wall appears to be a language from the Lost Jerusalem era. The room is completely barren. There are ampules of some substance scattered across the floor.
What do those letters mean?
The vial was poured out into a river in springs of water, and they became blood.
That phrase sounds familiar.
Yes.
Irene mentioned that same phrase during the party.
So this person is actually the real Voyager?
No, we can't confirm that just yet. But the same common message appeared during the Goodwill Ambassador incident and the Draper plant case. Based on what we've observed, I'm certain that there is a connection between Klaus and Voyager. But one thing still bothers me.
What's troubling you?
In every case, it was the victims who left the message.
That's actually true. Normally, leaving a message is the victim's role.
Is Eric available?
Yes. What is it?
The Goodwill Ambassadors and the embryos from the nursing facility. Check if they share any common points with Klaus.
Understood. Mikhail, respond on the secure line.
What's going on?
Earlier, you mentioned that there were ampules scattered around in Klaus's room, right? Can you zoom in on the image of them?
Sure, just a moment. How's this? That's the highest magnification I can achieve. What's wrong?
No, it's nothing. Proceed with the compulsory logout of the suspect and continue with the operation.
There's a small problem.
A problem?
What's going on? What's the issue?
There's an issue at the forced logout.
What do you mean exactly?
We can't retrieve his consciousness. He's resisting the logout. Using some kind of special program, or perhaps a substance, whatever the method, all feedback to his body is blocked.
Are you saying he's staying here intentionally?
Captain, this consciousness lock, it's just like with the ambassadors.
Is there a chance that Klaus might delete himself?
This man. He might not actually be Voyager. Could he be Voyager's scapegoat? If that's true, then the real Voyager might be escaping to a place we know nothing about.
Captain, what's the plan?
Seal off all connection points, including the dummies. We'll search for Klaus while his consciousness is present here.
Are we planning to create a dead end? While the real logout point is sealed, you won't be able to leave either.
It's not so we can escape, but to prevent anyone from eliminating him. Make sure to watch out for any unauthorized intrusions.
Understood. Temporarily sealing off all external access routes.
Now we have to take on Klaus in this big old building that he just went in. We know what we need to do now. Next time on Xenosaga Pied Piper fan recreation, we will do just that. Until next time, see you on the other side!
Bye.